What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of What If Civilization Started in a Nuclear Fallout. First thing we see in this video is actually the Persian mutant countries having a plan to unite, and that they do. And with this union, they're going to unite their militaries and everything to combat against the human threat that they are going to be destroyed by, or could use this to put up a defense. And that will be their goal, because they don't want to get destroyed by these guys. So first thing they're going to do is use their navy strategically, and they're going to invade into this little island right here from the orange team. And once they invade it here, they're going to use this as a military base for strategic naval landings and guarding the Gulf down here, the Red Sea. But here, let's see some other pushes. So we all know this pink team is a mutant country. So they're going to be like, they're going to be sailing down here into here. They're going to actually make naval landings at the 3 capitals, hitting up each capital and sort of disrupting it and staying in there sort of as a form of foreign terror to sort of disband the Union faster, which that will be their goal. But they are going to make an expansion down into here just to set up military operations for the future. So they're going to expand like so, not really setting up this region for anything else but military expansion. The Persian military union is going to push down here. Military union, economic union, everything. I don't know. It's sort of like a temporary union to just unite these people. I don't know how I'm going to incorporate it into the storyline in the future, but it's just for this war. So they're also going to push down a bit here. And they're going to be like, alright, let's prep for future war. But first, let's invade into the pink team. They're going to be like, alright, so we're going to push into your lands through here. I know you're going to have a little bit of struggle since you're not in the appropriate lands. But they're going to push very slowly, surprisingly, because these people are used to living in both environments more than the other team, and they're gonna be like, all right, let's push back, and that they do. And this is actually going to be very effective because of the physiology of these creatures and how it's developed recently. So they're fully going to push back the Persians, and the Persians are going to be like, alright, let's calm down, let's build up and use this island for future expansions and invasions. But here we see our first mutant nation popping up in what is the Iberian Peninsula. It's still the Iberian Peninsula, but it's just different now. But here we go. This civilization is going to be based off the coast, and they're not going to be doing much here, but we do have to remember some of these mountains are still here. I don't know how I'm going to incorporate these mountains since civilization restarted differently. I might do a terrain map sometime soon, and a mountains map and everything, and just change up some things. But I don't think I could do a terrain map. I'd just have to do a mountain map, and we will see a stream for fixing up that soon. I just got to get different types of maps and change it up, and it's gonna be a different from every other YouTuber who could sort of like use real things. But I got to do that by hand, and I also got to use real things and edit stuff. It's gonna be a long process, but I promise you we will have some types of terrain maps and everything. One major event is we're going to see Africa get divided a little bit more, with them wanting to divide up South Africa in this whole region to sort of expand for and get ready for the mutant invasions that might happen and might not. Alright, let's see the expansion of these Italian nations. This is what the Italians expand into. Now, the Italians do not know about this war between the Persian mutants and these humans in this region. And they're going to be chilling, but they will be informed later on. The Ukrainians already know, and they're fighting each other constantly, so they can't really pick a side. These guys, nobody knows who these are. These guys actually did collapse due to a recent earthquake, low population, and they were just not built like the others. Generally, I think a few mutant civilizations should just collapse randomly, time to time. Or just generally a few civilizations. Not even trying to just say mutants, but a few civilizations will collapse on their own eventually. I just gotta make a lot more. One current conflict happening between the humans is this blue country and Angola, and this green country and this orange country being like, alright, we have cultural differences, we don't like you. They're going to invade into this blue country. This is what the fronts start off as, and we see the blue team trying to do a little bit of a defensive war. They're not really going to try to attack, but they are going to get their cities taken, and they are going to get an encirclement of these troops in here, and they start losing cities fast. Surprisingly, the Angolans are weaker than they thought, but they're still losing cities pretty fast. They had stories of Angola being powerful and sort of helping them a bit at the start of their country, but they've worsened on relations over the years, and they've had recently sucky relations, and these countries forming, they just wanted to partition the blue team, so they take a few cities. This orange country, it's gonna exit the war because it can't withstand fighting against the blue team, so they're just going to exit the war, and they're going to start being pushed towards the capital, and the blue team's going to be like, we don't want to hurt our people, so just partition us. We don't care anymore. This is how the blue team will be partitioned. Now, I have lots of stuff to do today, so this will be it for today's episode, but I hope y'all did enjoy it, and I will be fixing up a few stuff to my map in the next episode. Goodbye.